We're getting you ready for Game 2 of our doubleheader on TNT. James Harden and the Rockets.
36? God.
We know they will be in. Seeding still a question. Same for Triple Russell. Russell Westbrook and the Thunder against the Rockets. It's all coming up, but things got interesting, did they not? Very immediately. As after 79 and 108 record in his recent regime as president of basketball operations, abruptly, without telling Jeannie Buss, Magic Johnson did this.
So today, I'm going to step down as the president. And I think I don't want to, her and I have such an amazing relationship. And I think that she gave me full power to do what I wanted to do. I'm gonna go back to that. My company is exploding right now, and so I have to make a decision, right? Because I can't give both 100%, and that's a tough thing. But I'm good with where I am. I'm happy. I want to do the things I used to do. So I had to weigh both situations, and so this is better for me.
All right, there's a lot here. Shaq, your reaction, A, to this surprising announcement, and B, he said relationship tight with Jeannie, yet he didn't tell her.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, so I can't speculate, I can't speak on it. However, I've never known Magic to walk away from something, so hopefully everything is okay. But I'm gonna go on the record and say this. There's a gentleman across the hall who is a born Laker, and he was general manager when I was there, and things didn't work out and he kind of went away. I would like to see him get that job. A gentleman by the name of Jerry West. If anybody could bring the franchise back to where it was, it's definitely Jerry West. So I want to wish Magic well. I want to wish Rob Pelinka well. They still have a lot of work to do this summer. Somebody's going to have to get it done, so whoever gets the job, it's going to be a lot of pressure there, but I'm not used to seeing Magic step up to a challenge and then step down so immediately. But Magic is my guy, so I don't know anything. I'm not going to say anything. I love Magic. If it wasn't for Magic, I probably wouldn't be a three-time champion, so I love him and I respect his decision. But the game and the business must go on. I would like them to take a look at Jerry West and give him the opportunity to come back and finish what he started in '96 when he made the trade for Kobe Bryant with Charlotte, and also in the same trade brought me there. So I know he's with the Clippers now and he's doing well, but I would like to see him get that chance. So, but good luck to Magic, good luck to the Lakers. But when you live in LA like Candace and myself, we don't accept excuses. So whoever's gonna get the job, you still gotta get it done. LeBron was there to bring the glory back. So Magic's gone, they're gonna be sad for a couple of days, but again, business must go on, and whoever's gonna get the job, you gotta get to work right away.
And Jerry, of course, Jerry West done a great job with the Clippers in their growth. It seemed kind of abrupt, Candace. I think that's why we're all so surprised. Not a long period of time. The LeBron process was a 4-year process. Are you surprised that after a year we're here and Magic is done?
I am a little bit surprised, but in his conference, in his press conference, he talked about Magic has been seen as the Mr. Laker around LA. Has had his hand in different businesses in different ways. Dodgers, he's with the LA Sparks as well. And so he has always had that mentorship type of relationship with people. And he alluded to the fact that he couldn't do that with the job that he had with the Lakers. Broke some rules earlier because he didn't know, tampering, things like that. So I think that as long as he's happy and he's stepping down and stepping away and still gonna continue to be around the Los Angeles Lakers, which he will be, then I see this as a win-win for him and for the organization.
Optics are what they are, Vince. Doesn't always mean that it is the way it seems, but they don't look good with this, right?
It doesn't look good, and like I said, we can all speculate until we find out what exactly is going on. Right now, it's all speculation, but something's up, and that, like I said, with having LeBron on your team and when you have him, good things can happen. You just need to find the pieces to make it work. So for someone to step down right now is just, I don't know, like everybody's mind was blown. You see it pop up at breaking news, like, what? That doesn't make sense. So something has to be up.
Especially when I told you guys I was coming out here to announce that, and you didn't listen to me, and then I did it, and you.
We didn't hear you.
I didn't believe you.
Didn't even hear you.
I didn't believe you.
I have anyway. So it's talking about LeBron though, because it was okay. LeBron's there and a big part of this, Shaq, but you had Magic Johnson. Now Magic taken away. More on LeBron here, even though it's not his decision making, because you know how people are. They're going to say, well, LeBron now has more power.
Well, it's LeBron's job to just go out and play at a high level, but it's management's job to get those people around him. Michael Jordan don't win championships if he don't have Pippen, Rodman, Steve Kerr. You know, Golden State don't win championships unless they have Draymond, Durant, Klay Thompson. So it's up to management to get the pieces. And they tried to, get a couple pieces. And again, people forget that before those guys got hurt, and even LeBron got hurt, they were in the playoffs.
Fourth seed.
They were in the fourth seed. So, I think it's fair to say if all those guys were healthy, they probably would be in the 6th, 7th, or the 8th spot. But things happened. LeBron got hurt. Rondo got hurt. Big Baller Brand got hurt. Season just went to waste. But this right here, what Magic is doing, just adds to the nightmare season that they've already been having.
Well, I have a question for the panel. Does this make their summer even bigger now? Outside of free agents, I mean, getting the right guy in there is very important, because now you're trying to lure a big free agent. That's going to be the first question of a free agent. Would you agree?
Well, I think this summer is no more important without Magic than they have to get somebody in free agency this summer. And now they're adding to their basketball ops, presidents, whatever. But LeBron's got a season off, but he's getting older. So it's not something that, hey, we're 2-3 years away. This is something that you have to build on this summer, where you're actually competing next year. I think that's why everybody was so disappointed this year, was because you want those young guys to have the experience in the playoffs for when you're actually competing for a championship.
This is where things are interesting, because Shaq brings up the point of Jerry West, right? So think about this building right now. You've got Doc Rivers, great coach, been a championship coach, what he's done with this team, Coach of the Year candidate. You got Jerry West. You've got a team headed in the right direction with a lot of money, and everything's great. You got the Lakers, bad season. The questions, Magic steps down. And this is, forget an odd time, the first time, right, that we sit in this building, and it's almost like we're playing opposite day which direction each team is headed, no?
Yeah, it's definitely a different atmosphere in L.A. The Clippers are in control now, but let it be known, L.A. is still a Laker town, period. Clippers are doing well, no disrespect to Doc and Jerry, what those guys are doing, but when you're around L.A., it's all about what Magic did, what Kobe did, what myself did, what Kobe and Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum did. Definitely a Laker town. So even this guy, I think, Kobe Bryant's a brilliant mind. Bring him in as president, because I think it's an easy fix. You got the nightlife, you got the weather, you got LeBron, you got Jack sitting there, you got the people. And if I'm a player that's going to be getting a lot of money, I would definitely want to, step up to that challenge, because we all know as players, you can't do it by yourself. So if I got a guy that's named LeBron James next to me, he's going to get his. I'm going to get mine, because I'm that type of player also. And you put 3 or 4 pieces around us, we got a pretty good shot. So if I'm a free agent, I'm definitely looking at L.A.
Well, how come that didn't happen last summer?
I don't think they had enough time.
Well, we get to the point of the coach, too, right? So now that's part of the process and part of the conversation to get to the point of everybody here. We don't know. Everybody suspects on Twitter. Nobody knows. But the relationship with Luke and who wanted to keep him and who didn't, there's a lot of conversation that it's expected that after the final game, that whole staff will be relieved. That's a big part of this, too. Regardless of not just LeBron, to Vince's point, Candace, we don't know who's coaching the team either.
You don't know who's coaching. Obviously, you look at the last portion of the season with LeBron out. Luke has looked calm on the sideline and has coached. And obviously, it's a little better when you don't have pressure. It wasn't expected to win. He's won a number of games at the end of the season. But like Shaq said, Jerry West is in the hallway right across. And you can't, if you're going to relieve a coach, you have to have your front office in place before you assign a coach and everybody on the same page. And everything Jerry West has touched has turned to gold. And, you look at what Golden State's doing right now. You look at what the Clippers are doing. It's not by chance that this man has been at all these organizations. And so I have to agree with Shaq on that.
Let me ask this. We got about 2 minutes left here. And we'll talk more about this after the second game. Just testing faith in where we're at now with the Lakers, because obviously we know what the franchise has been, Shaq, but where they are now. I'll start with you, VC. I'll put you on the spot here. But next year at this time, better team, Clippers or Lakers?
It's still up in the air.
I know it is.
Free agency.
I know it is. But think about, based on what you know about where they stand now.
You have to say the Clippers right now, just because of where they are. They're moving into the playoffs. You have to give them the advantage as of right now today.
And I think it's more of an advantage. You got two teams in L.A. that got a lot of money. You pick. You want to go to the Clippers or you want to go to the Lakers? You pick. I don't know what's going to happen with Luke, but there's a lot of, you want to save money? There's a guy on the bench named Brian Shaw. He can get the job done. Tyrone Lewis out there, Jason Kidd's out there. There's a lot of options to get it done, but we all know it ain't Mark Jackson. It ain't really about the coaches. Coaches ain't got nothing. It's about the players. The players got to step up. The coaches call X and O and they keep you calm, but
it's about free agency.
Yeah, and
that's what it is.
Who don't want to live in LA?
There's a number of people that said no to it this past year
Wow.
that didn't want to live in LA.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. In the past, it was a given that the Lakers were going to get the top free agents, and now that's not the case.
Hey, Paul
anymore.
George, who's in the game we're about to do, right? Chose Oklahoma
and he's
City.
From Los Angeles. Paul George is from LA.
And now you add a little turmoil in management. I mean, regardless if, like you said, it's a quick fix.
Sure.
But until like that, a free agent right now, regardless if they're looking into the playoffs or their season's over, that's the first thing they're like, oh man, wait a minute. Let's sit back and see. But now if the Clippers come around,
$200 million in LA, I'm going. I don't give a damn who there.
With the Clippers?
With whoever. If I get $200 million, if I'm a max player and I get $200 million and live in LA and bring my family,
if I get $200 million in North Dakota,
I'm not worried about LeBron.
It really doesn't.
LeBron going to get his 20 and I'm going to get my 20 and we're going to make some noise again. So the guys that didn't sign there, let's just tell me that they don't want to win. LeBron's still the best player in the game.
We learned beginning of the night
He
that
absolutely is.
Vince is going to keep playing, so Clippers and Lakers, you're both on the clock to make phone calls. He likes L.A. We'll get out to the Western Conference. Rockets, Thunder in Oklahoma City. We'll see you at the American Express halftime report. In the meantime, we're going to bring
Vince and Kobe.
Kevin Harlan, take it away, Kevin.
All right, that's the news from Steve Kerr. Steph Curry should be okay. Magic Johnson announcing he has stepped down as president of basketball operations. That is our lead story today. I'd imagine it will be the lead story for the next week, leading right into the beginning of the NBA playoffs. We got David Griffin, we got Mike Fratello, Jared Greenberg with you. We're going to be joined by guests here throughout the night. Let's just get some more reaction as you guys get to. We were literally about to go on the air for crunch time, so we just kind of got the news and went with it. As you're digesting here, Griff, what more comes to mind from this news?
Luke Kennard, second half, not what I'm supposed to talk about right now.
The Kennard family thanks you.
Exactly. No, I mean, this is stunning, obviously. And Coach, we've talked about this in all the years that you've been in the NBA and the years that I was in the NBA. I don't ever recall an evening quite like this. To say this must be a full moon would be an understatement. Magic Johnson, Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, all on the same night. Just a remarkable turn of events. And in L.A., you could feel, it was palpable, Magic's love and affection for Jeannie Buss and that Laker organization. For him to make the decision he did in this fashion today, without seeing her face to face, either there's much, much more to this story, or we really don't understand what that dynamic would look like. Because someone you love as a sister, it would seem deserved to hear it from you personally, but if she would have talked you out of it, maybe you can't do that.
What I felt was the pain coming from Magic, and that was the biggest thing that I was getting from the message, because as you mentioned, it was quite an extended press conference, and he kept on trying to say things a number of different ways, but saying the same thing in essence, and that pain and agony of whatever it is. And I have to kind of believe, like Griff said, tomorrow or the next day, or it just seems like coming up shortly. Stay tuned. We're going to hear a little bit more. Whatever that might be. I don't know what it is, but whatever it might be is what inflicted this pain. When he is talking about whispers behind your back, and that he can't handle that, that's not what he's about, then there's something probably that we'll find out.
One of the big quotes for me was, tomorrow I would have had to affect someone's livelihood in their life. And the only thing that really speaks to is a personnel decision you would have had to make tomorrow, which very much seems to allude to the fact that Woj, Adrian Wojnarowski, has also told us that the coaching staff very much believed that they were going to be removed. So you can connect the dots a little bit that Magic didn't want to make that decision. What's the most vexing to me in all of this is that relationship, which you can tell is very deep-seated, real familial love that they have, Magic not wanting to see her tonight actually puts even bigger decision on her plate. So now her task is that much harder because she has to replace Magic as well. That franchise has an incredibly tough slog ahead of them, and this just adds to the issues.
But one thing, if I can just jump in here, I think that decision of the coaching staff now slides down the ladder. You don't have to do that.
Correct.
Either way,
Right.
extend them, bring them back, extend them, or fire them. That's not the most important thing, as you know right now. It's who's stepping in and filling that spot that Magic just left, because then you move forward with that person.
Well, and to that point, Coach, we showed Shaquille discussing this and very openly campaigning for Jerry West. If you're Jeannie Buss and you are going to have someone of the magnitude of Jerry West run the franchise, he's going to want to make that decision himself. Right. So you're absolutely right. Everything else is on hold now until that situation is remedied. All
right, more from Griffin's R in a moment. Let's turn our attention to the phone now, where Matt, who is lead writer on NBA.com, he's from the Hang Time podcast. Sekou Smith joins us right now on the phone. Sekou, thanks for taking your time on this massive breaking news story here with Magic Johnson resigning as president of basketball operations. Sekou, let's take the LeBron angle here first with you. LeBron, who had been known throughout his second stint in Cleveland of signing short-term deals, surprised not us by going to L.A., but maybe surprised some by signing a 4-year deal with the Lakers. Any thought in your mind at this hour that maybe LeBron is having second thoughts of committing 4 years to an organization that now has a massive overhaul of its front office?
No, I don't think so, Jared. I think if I'm LeBron, I'm looking at this as an opportunity to maybe have an impact and have an effect on who comes in next and how you build going forward. I think he had a really good relationship with Magic. So obviously he's going to want to have a similar relationship or certainly a good relationship with whoever replaces Magic. But if you're LeBron, you made that decision to go to the Lakers for more reasons than just basketball. I think we've all come to that understanding. So, no, I don't think there's any regret. If you had any regrets in your LeBron, it was on Christmas when you pulled that groin, and it changed the complexion of your season, but not now.
Magic Johnson spoke very highly of the roster that he leaves behind. What are your thoughts on Magic saying that we are just one player away from being at that same level of being able to compete for a Western Conference Finals appearance?
I think that's ambitious, from Magic. I don't agree that they're as close as he thinks they were or thinks they are. I listened to his entire presser or whatever that was called, Jared. Of all the words that he said that really struck me, it was when he was asked about Rob Pelinka and he didn't give a glowing response about Pelinka. That, of everything that was said, that's what would worry me more than anything, is that maybe there was a disconnect where Magic and Rob Pelinka were concerned, which would be kind of surprising, given that they came in together. But maybe there's something internal going on more than what we've, been led to believe tonight. And we'll find out later that maybe there were some disconnects or some rifts in the organization elsewhere, because it doesn't add up that Magic would handle it the way he did. I think it's an honorable thing to do, to step aside if you're not willing to grind long-term to help the franchise get back to where it needs to be. There's no sense in you staying in a job you're miserable in or your heart's not in. So for him to take a step back and get out of that mix, so he doesn't ruin a 40-plus year relationship with somebody that he cares deeply about in Jeannie Buss, makes sense to me. But the method, the way he did it, is strange. And some of the pauses in his speech, when he was specifically asked about Pelinka, whether or not he thought Rob Pelinka was the right guy for the job as general manager of the Lakers, he didn't give the kind of glowing endorsement of a guy he worked closely with for the last 9 months that I would expect.
Great perspective there from Sekou Smith. Check out his work at NBA.com. Check out the Hang Time podcast. Sekou, you, like the rest of us, will be very busy for the next few days covering this breaking news story. Magic Johnson stunning the world, stepping down as president of basketball operations of the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll have plenty more on that story coming up here on Game Time Live. We'll also cover the race for 8th in the Eastern Conference. Marvin Williams, he's healthy enough to play and healthy enough to help Charlotte pick up a big win on Tuesday night.